Welcome back to the Gentleman's Gazette. In our third video on gloves, we'll talk about how to buy gloves that fit. I'm sure you're all familiar with the saying, it fits like a glove, but what exactly does it mean? In my experience, most people have gloves that are either too big or too loose, or where the fingers are too short. The first thing to consider when you buy a glove is that you want the glove to be tight. What does it mean? When you go in for the first time, there shouldn't be excess material. It should all fit neatly like a second layer of skin right next to it. Bear in mind, glove leather is flexible and will stretch over time. So rather get something that feels too tight than something that is too loose. The second aspect of gloves is the length of the fingers. Make sure that the thumb fits just like the fingers. Most of the time, you cannot go with your finger all the way to the skin, but sometimes there's just like half an inch or 2 centimeters in between, and you can get there. Now, they still may feel like they fit, but once you've worn a glove that really fits, there's no comparison and you don't want to go back anymore. Ideally, you want the quirks to be very close to your skin. Now, obviously, an unlined glove will always look more elegant than a lined glove. Most people would think this is a well-fitting glove. However, if you look closely, there is excess material here on the side, and therefore it's half a size too big for me. Otherwise, it's pretty good. Nevertheless, this is slightly too big, and over time it will become bigger. Check the glove, wear it, and when in doubt, always go a size smaller. This brings us to glove sizing. Most stores today have sizes in small, medium, large. Sometimes you find gloves that are one size fits it all, but there is no such thing as a glove that fits all hands. It's simply impossible, especially when it's made of leather. Traditional glove sizes are in 7, 7.5, 8, 9, 9.5, and so forth. At Fort Belvedere, we carry all of our gloves in 6 different sizes. I also paid particular attention to the cut, so we designed a cut with slightly longer fingers for larger hand and shorter fingers for smaller hand, so you get the best and most elegant fit. With our range of 6 sizes, we cover about 99% of all men, and it's just important that you measure your hand correctly. So how to determine your glove size? You need a measuring tape. First, determine what your dominant hand is. In my case, it's the right one. Then you measure around the widest part of your hand, once around without the thumb, like so. You take the measuring tape, hold it tight, get around, and you want to keep it tight. So in my case, it's 8.5, so my glove size is going to be 8.5. If you measure in centimeters, simply divide that number by 2.54. If you're in between sizes, always go down. For example, if you measure 9.2, 9.3, 9.25, go with size 9. If you measure 7.4, you probably go with a 7.5 because it's already a small hand. But in general, always go down a size because the glove will stretch and it's a flexible material. Also, if you have particularly long fingers, our gloves will definitely work for you. You can go with a smaller size. If you have a very wide hand and short fingers, also go a size down. Don't go with the regular size. Our gloves will adapt and you'll get a much better fit out of them. One of the most important factors of fit is something you actually cannot see. It's basically the softness of the glove. This glove here is made of lamb nappa from Fort Belvedere. It has quirks, and when I move my hands, it's just very soft. I don't feel much resistance. It's very comfortable and neat. On the other hand, I have a glove here that's from a cheaper retailer, and the gloves feel very stiff. The leather is stiff. When I move, I can feel it pull everywhere, and it's not something I can show you in the video really. It's something you have to experience. Once you wear the glove, you know immediately what I mean. So if the glove feels particularly stiff, it's usually not the best choice. Of course, it also depends on the leather. Lamb nappa and peccary have this soft, subtle feel that is one of a kind, and you will not find that in deer skin or bison skin or cheaper leathers that are used usually when you buy a pair of gloves for 30 bucks. If you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to contact us about glove sizing. We're always happy to help you. To find gloves in 6 different sizes that will work for you, check out our shop. We designed a particular pattern that is much more elegant than most gloves you can buy. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out our other videos on gloves and anything related to men's clothing and accessories.